Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys an update from North Dakota, our 8 megawatt site. We basically passed the inspection for the building code, for the helical piles, for the fire and all that stuff. We passed all of that, but we had one thing come up with the electrical inspector. We're going to be working on that, getting that finished up as soon as possible. So today's video, I'm going to give you guys an update on the process for that. What exactly came up and how we're going to solve that issue. So if you're interested in that, you know what to do. Hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, go to cryptollc.org. If you're looking to set up a Bitcoin farm, you're looking to get yourself a megawatt out in North Dakota, you're looking to buy or sell miners, we have all of that available at cryptollc.org. And before we get started, Bitcoin saves your wealth and Jesus Christ saves your soul. So today's video, again, we're talking about the North Dakota site, 8 megawatts. That site, we passed the building inspector, right? He came out, he checked everything, everything's good. The fire, the building, the all the requirements they had, all the spacing, the exit signs, the doors, everything was passed. Everything's good to go. But before they give you a temporary occupancy permit, they need to have the electrical inspector pass his side of things. So what happened was our electrical inspector went out there, he checked everything is good. The only thing he said was that when he came out there, he said, you need to have a disconnect because the transformers are located on our side, and then we have our disconnect, our transformers, and they go to a primary meter. So basically the issue basically was kind of the same as if you guys watched our previous videos from our channel from the Washington site. What happened over there was the engineers for Washington, they came out, the county engineers, they looked at everything, they set up our plan for the data center, and then at the very last moment, the electrical inspector came out there and said, hey, these transformers are owned by you guys, which means you need to have a disconnect. It has to be a disconnect after the primary. So what we ended up doing was we ended up putting up a pole and putting a disconnect on that pole and then running it down. Rather than going from the primary directly to the transformers, we had to go from the primary meter up to a pole with a disconnect, and then from that pole and disconnect would go down to the transformer. So that's what they ended up doing over there. And that was an engineering issue. Someone in the engineering department made that mistake. They didn't realize that the transformers were owned by us, which was clearly stated. But anyway, we had to fix that issue. It took like a week, and they put up a pole with everything, and it cost, I think it was like $25,000 to fix that, or to put up the pole and everything that's required. So for North Dakota, it's a little bit different. So the electrical inspector came out there, and he checked everything. Everything's good, but he says, hey, these transformers, again, are owned by us, and you do have a disconnect, but the disconnect is not fused. So the issue is a little bit different. It's not a fused disconnect. So the point of a fused disconnect is that if you have overcurrent on your load, so the 8 megawatts have overcurrent, you don't want the wires from the transformers to the pole to have any issues when they fry, something we overloaded, which is impossible to happen. It's never going to happen, right? We only have 8 megawatts, and the wire can withhold, I think it was like 15 or 20 megawatts. So it's never going to happen. But they still require to have it fused just in case it goes up that high. It will pop the fuse, and that protects the wire. But our disconnect is not fused. So that's the issue right there. It is not a fused disconnect. So this is a utility error. The utility company that we bought the disconnect from, they sold us a disconnect, and they did not mention that, and they did not mention that to the engineering department or to anyone. They just basically sold us a disconnect, said, yeah, it's good to use, so we installed it. And then when the electrical inspector came out there, and again, no one caught this issue. This issue was not caught by anyone other than at the very, very end, when the electrical inspector comes out there and he's like, wait a minute, looking at this fused, this non-fused disconnect, it's supposed to be fused, so why is it not fused? So we're going back to the utility. We're talking to the utility company. We're telling them, hey guys, why did you guys tell us this? You guys didn't mention it's not fused, and we needed a fused one. All the requirements of the North Dakota State Electrical Board, and it's not fused. So currently, as of right now, we are working for a solution. So there's a couple of solutions for this. One is we replaced the disconnect with a fused disconnect, and we're working on that right now. The utility companies, we're looking into it right now. The head engineer from the utility company is looking into the issue, and hopefully he finds a solution for that. Number two is we put fuses on the pole, which means we run from the primary meter, and instead of going down to our transformers, we run from the primary meter back up the pole to fuses. Then from those fuses, we run back down to the transformer. So there's going to be like a loop that's going to be created out of this issue, but at least we don't need a disconnect at that point. I mean, a fuse disconnect, because the fuses will be not on the disconnect, but be on the pole. That's a solution number 2. So either replace the disconnect with a fuse disconnect or put fuses on the pole. That'll solve the issue. So that's currently our status, and we are ready to roll with this. You know, I've been talking to the inspectors, talking with the engineers, talking to everyone. Everyone was looking at this. I don't know how they missed this. I mean, I guess I made the mistake of trusting the engineer. I should have not trusted them. You know what I mean? I should have been like, okay, yes, you're an engineer and everything, and you know what you're doing, but I'm gonna double check, because what if you make a mistake? And that's what I should have done. But we went with what the engineer said. The engineer said, this is all good, let's go. We got everything going, hooked up everything. You know, the disconnect's hooked up. We ran the high voltage to it, ran the lines from the disconnect to the transformers. Everything's hooked up. So now it's just going to be a big waste of money redoing this, either removing that disconnect and putting the proper one down, or putting the fuses on the pole. Anyway, this is going to cost a lot of money, but the most important thing is we hope that this can be solved. We hope that this issue can be solved immediately. You know, hopefully it'll be solved this week, and they're going to come back to us and let us know. So for our clients out there that got themselves a megawatt, you know, we are really hoping to solve this issue immediately, and we'll let you know as soon as possible on that. So that's the current status of the 8 megawatts just sitting there on the last one. You know, the process after we replace this, after we fix this issue, either replace the disconnect or put fuses on the pole. After we fix this issue, there's only one thing left to do, is just to call the inspector, the building inspector, and be like, all right, we got it, we got the electrical inspection passed, so give us a permit. At that moment, they give us a permit the same day. And then we call the utility company and say, okay, we passed electrical inspection, give us power. They'll give us power. So literally, as soon as we replace that and we pass the electrical inspector, we can get power basically, you know, probably the same day, as long as the utility company has enough time to power us on. So it's going to be pretty much the same day. So that's the current status there. And just wanted to update everyone on that. It's a sucky situation. I know we had something similar like this happen to our data center out in Washington, and yeah, it's you know, we're gonna have to double check what engineers write up for us, and double check what the utility company provides to us, and really be like, okay, you know, the engineer says it's good, the utility company says it's good, but is it really actually proper? Is it actually good? Should we double check everything that they're doing? So yeah, that's the current update for you guys. By the way, if you guys are coming out to Bitcoin conference out in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks, we're going to be out there. I'm going to be out there. So if you wanted to meet up at the conference, we can do that. You know, if you guys are interested in buying, selling miners, getting yourself a megawatt, you wanted to talk things through, you know, maybe you had a plan out, maybe you have a site out in Texas you wanted to build Bitcoin data center on, and you wanted to partner up with us, we can do all of that. We can meet at the Bitcoin Las Vegas 2025 conference and just chat and, you know, get some business relations going. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys like it, and until next time, goodbye.